What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man. In studio this time. First time we've been in studio together in about, probably a month and a half.
Longer than that, I think.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Because we did a bunch of lives. We did a pre-recorded one with Ronnie. We haven't done anything in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, whatever. But I've been on vacation with the family. We've been busy putting in time over at Toledo.
Yeah.
The championship.
Yeah.
Things just haven't lined up. We've had some guests that have been not easy to pin down.
No, not at all.
That are on the list. We'll get like a reply here or there, but maybe we just got to stay on it a little bit better. And then,
Man, that's what happens when you're nobody in the podcast world, man.
No, we're nobody.
Everybody wants to go on all the other ones.
I don't blame them. I mean, they're more consistent.
They got to have fame. Chasing fame. Can't help out those little guys.
No.
But we got a guy today that's going to help out the little guys.
Yeah, well, because he's about to not be a little guy.
He's not a little guy.
No, he's not. He's a hammer.
We got Easton Fothergill on today, recent winner of
Eufaula, Bassmaster Open.
The most recent Bassmaster Open winner.
Yep.
And kid's got a cool story, and man, I was just looking up his stats on Bassmaster. He's only fished 6 tournaments as far as the Opens go. This is his first year, and I was going through his results, and it's pretty ridiculous. He's got 5 out of the 6 are top 30s. And, he's leading the points. So,
Yep.
He's on a fast track. He's already fished a Classic before from winning the college bracket. So, now he just qualified for another. We'll find out more about him and his age and stuff because I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's not very old, doesn't seem. So,
yep. Nope. First year of the Open's making a big splash.
On a fast track, dude. That's he's one of those guys, you know.
Yeah, they got 4 left.
Yeah. They fished 6.
Well, he's fished 6, but they fished 6 this year already?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they've done the northern swing yet.
No, you're right.
There's 3 northerns, and then there's
No, you're right.
we should know this. St. Clair's next.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah.
Because one of the ones he fishes a Classic, which he did good in, by the way. He finished 16th.
That's a good finish. That's a good finish.
But the Open still have a long way to go. One of our really good buddies who I fished in, not fished together, but was in college for a little bit with Jack, and Shane traveled with him last year in the Opens, and Jack's in that 9th place spot, and it is tight.
York.
Such a tight race, dude. I looked up the points race the other day, and it was like anybody that was really – no, I'm not just saying this, but saying that, if you're past this point, you're not in it. But anybody that was in like 23rd or 24th above was a pretty tight race. Now, the few top guys like Easton that we have on today and Dakota, they have a little bit of a gap.
Not much, though. Not like last year.
That 9th spot, that Jack, our dude, the bubble boy right now, it's tight. Yeah. It's tight. And it's going to be – man, what they've got left is –
Northern swing, and then
they'll go to Hartwell to end the year. That one will be interesting in the fall. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. The Opens are crazy, and we'll talk with Easton a little bit about. We like to talk about the guys that fish the Opens. We like to talk about how different it is and stuff like that. So it'd be cool to hear his thoughts on going into the freaking Lions Den. But as far as what we got going on, we've already mentioned it a little bit, but we've got Toledo coming up next week.
Finally here.
It feels like it's taken forever.
We basically had a month and a half off. A month off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been guiding a lot. I know Shane has too. It's freaking not fun. I'd rather be fishing tournaments, but
yeah, it's hot.
It is so hot, dude.
99 every day, like 100% humidity.
The humidity is terrible.
Miserable. Thunderstorms in the afternoon, which don't cool anything down, just make it more humid and miserable.
Yeah. A quick side story. We were actually on a trip with one of our good friends and Jerry, and these storms have been coming in. Have been crazy. I know a lot of guys have been talking about it, but this storm came in, and there was this guy on a sailboat out on one of the lakes we were on, and it lit like in a matter of maybe a minute. I mean, it's so crazy when these storms come in. It's like this, and the wind caught his freaking sail, dude, and flipped him over. And we launched the boat back out there, and Jerry went and grabbed him, and we got it back on the trailer and got out of the water. He was fine, but Man, these storms have been crazy lately. So
Yeah. Pop-up showers. They can push a little wind.
they come with wind, and they come hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that's going on in our world. But next weekend is going to be a big weekend for us. It's really from now on for us. We only have a few tournaments left, and it's all championship tournaments. So it's going to be the Brandon Belt Championship, where we hopefully will solidify Bass Cat Angler of the Year and win a boat, and then hopefully make a run at the championship. That's going to be a tall task, it seems so far. But definitely possible. And then they're giving away a boat there out of 75 teams. It's a random draw. It's a big tournament for Brandon Belt. And then I think they just recently launched an online tournament. Bunch of big giveaways in that one as well. They're doing a bunch of big things over there. They got a bunch of big stuff coming. But then we got the Bass Champs Championship in October on Lake Texoma that we qualified for from Win and You're In. And then we've got the Bass Nation National Championship, which is probably, to me, the most important one. But I really hate that it's in November because I'm going to be in hunting mode.
I'm leaving from there to Kansas.
I'm already going to be hunting before that tournament. I know I am.
I'm going to have a bow in the truck.
That'll be on Grand Lake. Kansas. And that's all we got left, really, man. We talked about flirting with the idea of going up north, kind of just see how the Brandon Belt Championship goes, go up there and have some fun and get into some cooler weather. But
it'd be nice.
That'd be
catch
awesome.
Some brown ones, some smallmouth.
And they're smashing right now.
I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it.
But anyways, let's get the man on. Let's
call him.
Yeah, let's see what he's up to, man.
All right.
I wonder if they're already up there.
And then maybe if y'all stick around at the end, I'll tell you a horror story about selling a boat.
Oh, you should have told that to begin with.
No, we'll make him wait.
Is the guy a listener?
I think so.
Great.
He said he was.
That's awesome.
I won't name names. He probably not anymore.
He's not going to answer the phone.
He will.
Hello.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, not too much.
What's up, man? I haven't even talked to Easton before. I did message you on Instagram. I never got a reply, man. I felt like I was DMing like a girl that I really wanted to reply to me, and then she but at least you didn't read it and not reply. Like, that's bad.
He didn't leave you on red?
No, y'all, because it was even worse. Like, I'm probably in his request file because he doesn't even follow me because I'm a loser,
Yeah.
But I was a little, at least he didn't read it and not respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good, man.
I definitely didn't see it.
I know you didn't. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we were kind of, it's crazy. I looked up your, the Bassmaster stats and stuff, and you've only got 6 tournaments on there, and you've killed it in basically all of them but one, and yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. So we're kind of talking about that for a minute. Me and Shane, and we don't know a ton about you. We've seen, obviously you've competed in the Classic already through the college bracket, and then you've got yourself another Bassmaster Open win. You're leading the points. I mean, things are going good for you. So we just wanted to learn more about you and let all the guys listen and learn more about you. So,
yeah,
I guess we take it from where we always take it.
Yeah, how'd you get started in bass fishing?
Yeah, so how I got started, my dad is super into fishing. Not necessarily on the bass side. He was more into the walleye side of things when I was young. But, I fished some walleye tournaments with him when I was super young, about the 3 or 4 age-year-old range is when I started fishing with him, hardcore. And then when as I started getting older and older, I really started to fall in love with the bass fishing side of things more. And, with that, my dad started following along, and, we both started getting into the bass side of things. And yeah, that's kind of how it all started. My dad has been doing tournaments for many years now, and he's kind of mentored me into who I am today. So I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, my dad is definitely the person who has got me into the tournament fishing scene for sure.
Man, that's awesome.
Nice.
So you mentioned you grew up walleye fish. I'm just assuming that you're from up north, the Minnesota region, maybe, or is that just where you go to college?
Yep.
Or okay, so you're from there.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and then I went to school down in Alabama. That my thought process with that was if I did want to make a run at this professional fishing thing sometime in the future, I would have to get comfortable in southern waters, and that's what made me go to University of Montevallo down in Alabama.
Got you.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
So you actually targeted a school for fishing?
Yep.
Man,
yeah,
that's That's
I was 100% looking for a fishing school when I was looking for a college, so it's pretty crazy for sure.
man, it's a common theme. Like the more you look at it and you hear about it, like you had Cody Huff and John Garrett and these guys that go to these, whether it's some of the ledge fisheries and stuff, some of the southern central fisheries.
Yeah, but he like sought out a school for fishing. I mean, these guys obviously like they liked fishing, so that was important, but it wasn't like. This sounds like that was kind of his.
Oh yeah, he did it to learn.
Let me ask you this: was Texas ever on your radar?
There was one team over there, Tarleton, kind of caught my eye, and I did look into their team a little bit, but their funding just wasn't up to par with a couple of other schools that I'd found.
They couldn't afford you.
I couldn't afford him.
Yeah, you're gonna do better than that.
That's where Dakota went.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, Dakota went over there to like fight a bull as a rodeo clown or something. I don't know what he was doing over there, but yeah. Anyways.
No, that's super cool. I was just curious if Texas was even on the radar, if there was even any schools competing.
So how old were you, Easton, when you got into the sport? I mean, like when you were actually started to compete? Because, like, how old are you right now?
I'm 22 right now.
Okay, 22. So when did you get into did you and your dad start doing the tournaments together? Did he get you in the tournament scene, or did you kind of get him into the tournament scene?
He's done tournaments for before my time even, but like I said earlier, we started getting in more of the bass side of things as I started growing up. And then when I graduated 7th grade and was going into 8th grade, we started a high school fishing team at my school. And that's when I really started to work my way up the ranks on the Bassmaster side of things. Nice. And that's really what kicked off, my junior and senior year of high school is when I really started looking into colleges and realized that I do want to go down south and really try to make a run at it eventually. So that's kind of my thought process. And, I've just been trying to work my way up the ranks ever since.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not wasting a whole lot of time.
No, it's like a freaking rocket, dude.
So let me bass. What push you towards bass versus MLF?
It just I don't even know how to describe it. It's just where the hype's always been. Other than that, it's just what everyone watches. I hardly ever find myself going to MLF, and unless there's a certain couple anglers that I really like and really follow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall, I honestly really don't care what's going on over there. But with Bassmaster, I'm looking at Bass Track every single day, what's going on, and it's really hard to explain. But that's just, at least for me, I don't know if I can't speak for you guys, but that's just the way it's always been for me. I really can't explain it.
No, I feel the same way. I know what you mean.
Did you fish MLF events in college, or was it strictly Bassmaster?
No, I've fished everything under the sun in college. I've fished, I've hardly even, I've definitely done more fishing than school in college. I did a lot of online and, a lot of homework when you get off the water every night. So I did a lot of fishing in college, a lot of traveling, as much as I could handle.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man. And that's, some of the younger guys like yourself, like you're kind of seeing, me and Shane have talked about this before on the show, but it's almost like a new mold of anglers coming. And, you look at yourself as a, 22-year-old, but really, like, you've got some experience going. Now, I know you started at a young age. I was the same exact way, 15 years old, but, like, you come in and you're getting some experience rather quickly, and I feel like, some of the guys are learning at a faster rate now just because of all available, like, information and stuff, and it's like a new mold.
Yeah, the learning curve is definitely
is coming, dude. And it's not, a lot of people like to test, some of the younger success strictly to technology, but really it is the work side of things. I think more than anything is like how quickly you're growing up in this age. That's available for everyone at any age, by the way.
Yeah.
We talked about this with some of the like Shane fished the Opens last year, and we talked about some of the guys that made it.
Yeah.
And you look at that work ethic, and man, like I feel like the new mold of angler is freaking work hard, dude. Like you better be, because these guys are
you a pre-practice guy?
I am, as much as finances and time allows.
Sure.
But yeah, like you were saying, the younger anglers, they definitely, all the new technologies and stuff, they definitely adapt to it a lot faster than the older anglers. And also, a lot of these guys that you're seeing just kick butt everywhere they go. They don't have wives, they don't have anything. Like it's fishing on their mind 100% all the time. And, that goes a long ways in the sport. And like you said, they have a work ethic like no other. And it's just, they're 100% of their lives is driven to fishing, and, it shows in their results. So
Yeah.
I completely agree with what you said.
Would you say that, like, there's guys that that are, that maybe you fished in college with, or, guys that are your buddies that you're like, hey, man, like, like these guys are for real too. Like, is there plenty of guys waiting in the wings, like, coming?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. In my age bracket, there's a lot of anglers that are like really, really good that are, they're going to start filtering into the Elite Series and the MLF side of things here real soon. One of my best friends is Wesley Gore. I fished college with him at 1 year, 1 year at Montevallo, and he's on the Elites now, and he's one of my best friends, and he's one of my guys. He's making sure I'm in the right headspace in the opens and just helping on the mental side of things, which has been a big help for me this year.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, he's one of the first ones. Obviously, we have Robert G, and there's plenty of college guys in the Elite Series, but there's going to be a big wave coming, I believe, here in the next couple of years for sure.
Yeah, and I think not just college guys, like some guys coming out of high school, like maybe some Trey McKinney's, like like what I'm saying. I mean, it's kind of like a phenomenon. Like, I want to like explain it. But I think it all comes back to the available information and the work ethic, man. And like he said, when you put everything aside and it's all you got to focus on, you put just like anybody else in any other sport that wants to be great. It's literally like work to death at it and constantly consuming knowledge. And I think that's, in today's world, that's why.
I think go ahead.
Anything you want to be great at, that's what it takes. 100%. Your mind has to be 100% driven, and you got to put 100% into it. So
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. No, I think it's just everything coming together: social media, technology, college, bass, and MLF investing in high school and college fishing, and really trying to, groom these anglers to be elite ready and show them a path. And I think, I look back at it, 20 years when you looked at professional fishing, it was like, it almost seemed like, how do you even get there?
Right.
Like, what's the path? Now there's multiple ways to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Easton, I'm not saying this you're still an outlier. Like, you're still that guy that's like on the fast track. Like, this doesn't happen. What you're doing right now. And, but you know, just as well as I do, you got other guys looking up to you right now, like the high school kids and maybe some guys that just got into college and like, man, look at that guy. Like, look what he's overcame and look what he's doing, And I think it just inspires more and more people when they're like, hey, it is possible, just you got to work for it. So I think it's really cool, man. And so on the college side of things, did you fish all 4 years? What did you end up doing? Graduating in 3, 4?
Yeah, I did 4 years of college.
Okay.
I fished all 4 years up there at that University of Montevallo.
Okay, and you qualified for the Classic your senior year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you. And that was last year?
Yeah, that was last year's Classic at Grand is the one I qualified for, yep.
Right, and that was you and Tucker, right? You and Tucker Smith were in the final two in the
Yep.
Yeah, the bracket. Okay,
yep.
That's what I thought. Yep. Got you. So I know you had a like I remember when all this was happening. It was like that national championship and the college bracket. You had some kind of health complication or something, and I wanted to talk to you about that because I wasn't really sure exactly all what it was, but I wanted to give you a chance to kind of talk about that and how you overcame all that.
Yeah, it actually happened at the national championship before the bracket there in August. I started having incredibly bad headaches there during practice for that week at Pickwick Lake, and got worse and worse. And I got to the point where I started passing out, idling ledges on Pickwick. Like, it was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And I made it through the week somehow with Excedrin migraine medicine and also ibuprofen. And then I get back to school the week after that, and it gets progressively worse and worse. And I'm a busybody. Like, I'm always doing something, always active. And my roommates realized, I didn't leave bed for like 30 hours one day. Like, didn't even go to bed once. And my roommates realized then that something's wrong with me. And then they got me into the ER. They did a CT scan. They found something in my brain. They couldn't tell what it was right away. So then they hauled me by ambulance to a hospital in Birmingham, UAB. And then that's where they did an MRI right away, and they found it was an abscess, and then they threw me into emergency surgery right away after that. So,
wow.
And then after that, I kind of recuperated in the hospital for just over a week, and then I actually came back home to Minnesota for 2 weeks and healed up. And yeah, I got the call that I was going to be cleared 3 days before the bracket tournament. So then I had to drive back to Alabama, get my truck and boat, and then drive up to Kansas. So I was literally from 0 to back into it 100%, like the snap of a finger.
And
so
then
that
won
took a toll on my body.
Won the freaking bracket. So
yeah, and
that had to have been. I mean, you're so young and like, I mean, active. You said you're active and healthy. I mean, that had to that'd have been a scary thing to go through for me. I know for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, and with that first scan, they didn't know if it was a tumor or an abscess, so they're telling me like there's a chance it's cancerous, blah blah blah, and obviously I have really scary thoughts going through my brain
sure,
then.
Right.
But, with that MRI, they found out it was, they told me it was 95% chance an abscess, so they were gonna throw me into surgery and try to take care of it. And, that's what they did. So.
That's
super
scary.
grateful for that for sure.
Oh, dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
And they were able to, the surgery went good and everything, huh? They were able to get everything.
Yep.
Got you.
Yep. So with the surgery, they aspirated 50% of it, and they did that just to relieve pressure, and then they were able to put, they were able to culture that abscess and figure out what exactly bacteria it was, and then they could treat the rest with antibiotics. So.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
kind of how that surgery went down.
I got you. So that's how they got the remaining 50% was antibiotics.
Yep.
Nice.
Man, that isn't so. You're good now. Ever since then, you've been sailing.
Yep. No, that was just a freak infection, just like any other infection, just happened to be in my brain. So, but yeah, it's healed up and we're good to go now. So, pretty crazy for sure.
You got a gnarly scar from that or what?
No, it's actually just like the size of the tip of your finger on the top of my head. So
really,
I still got my head of hair. So,
man, that is crazy. That is crazy. Like to go from that to making the classic, man, that would have been. I would have been emotional. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not a very emotional person, but you can see those pictures when I won the bracket. I was up there crying, holding that little plaque. It just took me by storm.
For sure.
All that going on, and then winning that was crazy for sure.
So how was your first classic?
Oh, it was life changing. Everyone was telling me while I was there, like once you make one of them, you'll do whatever it takes to get back, and that's exactly how I felt. Like, I just, I was 100% driven to make it back to that classic one day, and I'm just super grateful I was able to make that happen.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I still can't believe it.
3 months later, no big deal.
So,
yeah.
Walk us through what happens when you win that. Is it just a classic berth, or like now you're fishing the opens this year? Are they doing something for you in the opens this year?
When you win that bracket tournament, you get a berth to the classic, and you also get entries into all 9 opens for the following year.
Okay.
And then they also give you a truck and a boat to travel the opens with. So they completely set you up.
Wow.
To make a run at it, and it was life changing for sure. And like Minetti. And then what it also does is it gives you all kinds of connections in the industry that you wouldn't have before, and that goes a long way to sponsorships and that sort of thing from then on. So.
Wow.
It's definitely anyone who wants to make a run at it from the college ranks, that provides the road to do it for sure. And it's a super cool deal. I'm super, super grateful that they provide that for us kids.
So you get like a Tundra and a Nitro? Is that what you get?
Yep. Tundra and Nitro.
You got to give it back?
I believe I'll get the option to buy both of them at the end of the season. But
Heck yeah.
We'll see.
I got
you.
So
are you working with Lauren Bacon? Is she kind of help you?
Yep.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Got you.
And
That's
then
awesome.
Toyota, I can't remember their names over there.
No, me neither.
Toyota through Dynamic Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Luke and okay.
Wow, man.
Yep, all those guys.
So you're just taking full advantage.
Yes.
You're like, hey,
all the big names.
They're like, hey, they're paying my way. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm just leading the dang points after 5 of them.
I can't believe it. It's crazy.
I mean, that's awesome.
I never would have thought, my first year straight out of college, never would have dreamed or dreamt that ever.
You probably had a little bit of an idea. Like, these boys are in trouble. I'm coming.
So walk us through your win at Eufaula, because I know that place. I fished a tournament there. I fished an invitational there. Shane's fished an open there. Had a shot to do really well, and had some unfortunate things happen. But anyways, you win there at a very tough time of the year. I know how tough that fishery is. Walk us through your practice. Did you think you had a shot to win? Walk us through that one. I really want to hear about that one because I know how Eufaula is.
Yeah. So I went into it just like you said, knowing it was going to be a super tough tournament. And overall, I really like those kinds of events. Those are my favorite kinds. The ones where you have to be mentally tough and, just make every bite count. Those are the ones I tend to strive in overall. But yeah, that's the mindset I went in with that tournament with, just not expecting many bites and just hopefully getting a clue that I can run with, expand on it during the tournament. And I put in at that, whatever the park is there that the tournaments go out of.
Mm-hmm.
And, I idle out and the water's bright orange and I'm just like, I don't know about this. And then, most lakes you go down by the dam and the water's a little bit cleaner down that way. So that's where I went. And, as soon as I went through the narrows there and where it kind of opens up down by the dam, it got way cleaner and then instantly felt a lot more comfortable. And that's when I kind of, I fired up the side imaging, started looking around, found some rock and some standing timber. And, it didn't take long. I got a couple 3-pound bites and, obviously those are pretty much gold for that event.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then from then on, I was averaging about 5 to 8 bites a day the first 3 days of practice. And, every time I set the hook, it was 2.5 to 4.5 pounds.
Wow.
And my main pattern ended up being steep rock bluffs. It would go from 12 feet down. It would break like a wall from 12 down to about 25. And I'd found that groups would cruise those edges, those super steep edges, groups of 1 to 5 to 10.
Just wolf packs.
And yep.
Spotted bass and largemouth or strictly largies?
It was almost all largemouth. I did catch some spots and they were always tiny, not keepers, but it was almost all largemouth when you get bit. But yeah, I stumbled on that on day one. And then by the end of practice, I was able to find about 10 stretches like that. Some of them were 100 yards long and some of them were like 20 yards long. And those ones were the best ones because those ones didn't show up on the map. And, obviously the anglers won't find them as much if they're sneaky that way. So, but that was my main deal. And then the last 2 days of practice, I actually cut my hooks off and just threw my worm out. And both days I got like 15 bites. And,
Jesus.
So I was super optimistic, but, I still wasn't positive on the size I was dealing with. But yeah, I was definitely feeling pretty confident going into the tournament for sure.
Man, that's awesome. So these fish were suspended then on these cruising these bluffs is what I'm assuming.
I did catch some suspended, but almost all of them were cruising right on the bottom.
No kidding. That's awesome. So what were you targeting them with?
I weighed 13 out of 15 of my fish all week on a Nico rig with a dark colored worm. And I was throwing a 3/32 ounce weight, and that was the main key for the week was it had to fall fast, and almost all of them would grab it on the fall. And if they didn't grab it on the fall, you'd give it one pop, and they'd ignite on it when you did that. So that was another deal I figured out.
That's sick. Yeah,
pretty cool.
That's legit. I've never fished that way. I don't fish there a lot, but I'm just saying I figured that one was going to be like standing timber or piles or like those sandy, like points with some sump kind of deal. I figured that. So that's great. That's pretty cool.
And, yeah, I fished some piles in practice, but that there was just so many guys rotating those piles. I thought everyone would just cannibalize each other, so I kind of threw that out of my game plan pretty quick.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to find sneaky ones. I mean, just when you feel like you found a sneaky one, you see somebody on it, you're like, dang it.
How many boats y'all have in that one?
Yep.
200, 195?
Yep, exactly. There was, right at 200, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of guys on that little. It actually is a really big pond, but it fishes pretty small.
It does.
So. Yeah.
That's pretty dang cool, man.
Well, what do you look forward to in the rest of the season? I mean, surely a northern swing a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I mean, St. Clair, obviously, there's a lot of smallmouth, and then my home lake is actually Leech Lake, the event after that. So I'm super pumped for that one, obviously.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
What do we? Hey, we don't. I don't want you to give too much away about Leech Lake, but basics, because I don't know anything.
Can you win it on smallmouth?
Is it largemouth? Is it smallmouth? I know these fishers in Minnesota, you can freaking punch grass and frog and catch good green ones, or you can go, drop a minnow or whatever, drop shot, whatever, and go catch brown ones on most of these places.
Leech is exactly that way. There's 6-pounders of each, and, you can catch a 20-pound bag of each. It's really, weather will play a big factor into it because, obviously most of the largemouth are in the bays and such, and then the smallmouth are a lot of them are main lake, and for whatever reason, that place gets, massive. It compares to all the Great Lakes I've been on.
No kidding.
So I think there'll be a lot of strategizing in that event, a lot of game planning, and I think really whoever manages their fish and also plans on the weather the best is who will win that tournament for sure.
Is it a big place?
Yeah, it's like, I believe it's like 160,000 acres.
Okay.
It's a really big lake.
Yeah, that's like Toledo.
And almost,
Dang, that is big.
and almost 100% of it will play. 100% of it has good quality fish in it. So
Man.
it'll be a really interesting event for sure. And, you know, that place has never seen pressure like it's about to see. So I'm really curious how it'll take that kind of pressure, the 5 days of practice and then the tournament days. So
Did you, when you say
it'll be really interesting.
When you say it's your home lake, like, did you fish tournaments there as well, or just?
Yeah, I fished a lot of tournaments there. I'm a half hour from the lake, so
that's what's up, man. That's awesome. That one will be.
It's a really fun lake. It's a good time for sure.
We're trying to get our camera back up. I don't know what it's doing. Hang on 1 second. All right,
jump right back into it.
We're recording again.
Well, now we change our background here. We got mountains.
That's all right.
Whatever. But we're recording. Ish. There it is.
We're back. So where were we?
We were talking about Leech Lake and how everybody else might as well not show up.
That's what we're going to conclude.
You're all fishing for second.
So after Leech Lake, where we go? St. Clair?
La Crosse.
Oh, La Crosse.
How do you feel about that one?
I'm not really sure, honestly. I've fished 3 or so high school tournaments there, and that's about it. So, and I'm only 4.5 hours from there, so that's one I'll be able to go pre-practice for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, learn a little bit more about it.
Y'all are going out of La Crosse, I'm assuming, pool 8, I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you. Y'all allowed to go to pool 7 and 9?
I believe so.
Gotcha.
Yep, 7, 8, 9.
That's gonna be a cool tournament because I fished an invitational there. I remember some guys almost got stuck in the lock. Like, there's some tricky stuff there. Tricky.
Tricky.
Events like that are really cool to watch.
Event.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy about the opens. There's so much left.
There's a lot.
Like you should feel phenomenal about where you're at.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just there's a lot of fishing, but
it's almost half the season left. So
yeah. So sounds like we're gonna get to see some. Sounds like we're gonna get to see some freaking frogging going down a little bit. Maybe at Leech ends a little bit of Mississippi River, and then we go on to truly
St. Clair.
Probably more like your true northern swing.
Dirty,
like, yeah. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe Leech. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think St. Clair. Obviously, I mean that's gonna be the one where you'll really start to see it.
Yeah, if those dudes don't cannibalize themselves and just beat the crap out of everything.
Are they there before the? Are y'all there before the Invitational or after? Or do you know?
I think right after, but I do think there's 2 tournaments going on the same week. We're there, 2 good sized tournaments, so it's going to be a super busy place, and obviously that'll throw a wrench into some people's game plans. So
yeah, I'd rather y'all go before than after for y'all's sake, just because there'll be some giveaways for sure.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Yeah, that'll be
an interesting one for sure. I mean, the elites went there last year before?
Last year.
Yeah, and that was
last year.
That freaking that was awesome. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And then we end the season at Hartwell, right?
Hartwell, October.
Yep.
Got you. I'm assuming you probably fished there in college.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite lake in the whole country.
Oh, here we go.
Of course it is.
Here we go, man.
Here we go. Is there anything that you suck at? Is there any lake that they could put on the schedule that like you'd be like, man, I really don't want to go there?
After college fishing, I can honestly say not really.
That's cool.
That's the beauty of college fishing. I've seen just about everything and got some experience on every type of bodies of water. So
for sure.
How many times did you go to Red River in college?
I went there once.
That's a grindy. You said you like the grinders. That's
no, that was an awesome event. I love that place.
Of course you do.
Jeez. That one is grindy.
No, that's a terrible place. Nobody should ever go to. Don't listen to Easton.
Nobody goes there for fun. I was just putting that out there.
No, I would not go there for fun. No, never.
No, I know what you mean though. Like on those tough tournaments like that, when you really got to put your head down and fish for 5 to 7 bites a day.
Yep, exactly.
That's what's up, man. So what are we looking at as far as your, like just I know people watching would probably be interested, but as far as like the the notoriety or the sponsor game, like, you know, you're catching them really well. You got a good, you know, social media presence. Like, what is that looking like on your end? Not to get into any specifics, but is it going the way you want it to? Is it tougher than what you thought? What is that looking like?
It's definitely tougher than I thought. My mindset is with winning that bracket, I pretty much have everything paid for this year. So I'm treating this year as trying to get everything lined up for the next year and the years after that. Sure. That's kind of the mindset I've had. So everyone I've been approaching, I've been just like, you know, I'm good this year, but let's get something going and, you know, make a partnership and started this in the 2025 season. So that's kind of what I've been approaching everyone with. And, you know, it's been tougher than expected for sure. You're not really, even on the opens, you're still not really, I mean, you're kind of someone, but you're still like not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's not until you make the elites where you're officially somebody. So it's still tough. And, you know, having a social media presence helps, but it's still not everything. So.
Yeah, no, and that's really what I want to talk to you about it, because, I mean, we're seeing, I mean, just the reality. We've seen Elite Series guys that have been in the industry a long time. A few have retired recently. You know, it's a tough world in that realm, you know. And
yeah.
But he's got a huge leg up, you know, getting in the door with, you know, Dynamic.
I know. That's why I want to ask him
White
about
River Marine.
That's why I wanted to ask him about it.
Have you had conversations with them about the future?
Oh, yeah. All of them have been, you know, pretty much all of them have reached out to me saying that they would like to continue after this year. So that means a lot for sure.
Yeah,
and that's just another reason why that bracket tournament has really changed my life. Like I said, it's made the connections that I've needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that bracket tournament is definitely a leapfrog into the professional tournament scene if you're hoping to do that one day. So
nice. No doubt. And you hold on to AOI, and man, that's a freaking statement. You know,
that's a good resume builder there for sure. If that's able to.
I mean, you got to be in talks with these people like, hey, you know, 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a reality though. You do.
Yeah.
You got to start having those conversations,
you do.
but you don't want to count your eggs before, you know.
Right. But it's a weird kind of situation there.
It's a weird spot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you don't want to get locked into a certain level, a certain tier, if you will, which is kind of how that works a little bit. Well, depending on what tier you are, we'll do this. If you're in this tier, we'll do that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yep. Because I you know, I'm not Easton.
Well, I hear people have conversations like this. not me. You know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the industry's small, and there's a lot of really great people in there, and there's opportunity, but it's not just like you said, it's not just the easiest thing in the world, like just go catch a bass and we'll give you all the resources you need.
No, it's definitely not built that way.
A lot more than that, for sure. It goes into it.
But yeah, you're in with some great companies. I'm sure they'll be happy to support you, especially keep catching them like that.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
For sure.
So what is your style, man? Like, what do you know? Go ahead.
Overall, my style would be run and gun. In practice, I'm looking for as many isolated pieces of structure I can run as possible. And, you know, I tend to break it down. I really don't have a plan when I go into practice. I just go out there and have a complete open mind all days. You know, who knows where I'll end up during the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I'm running down the lake, I'll throw a waypoint on a nice laydown, and then I'll grab a 20-foot flat. I'll find a brush pile, and then, you know, I'll find a little rock pile on 5 feet. And that's kind of how I roll. And, you know, in tournament day, I'll take a couple pieces of structure, shallow water, and, okay, that's not working. I'll go to 10, 15-foot range. Okay, I'll try a rock pile on a brush pile. You know, that's kind of how I break down most bodies of water. And, you know, that's just how I roll. And, you know, my mindset is if I move fast enough in a day, I'll land on eventually.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's kind of how I roll.
So kind of maybe not always, you know, you say you won, you follow it with a Nico rig. Not necessarily always like power fisherman, like technique-wise, but definitely in the moving of things, like how the flow is going to go.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times I tell people that I fish slow fast. Like I'm fishing slow, but you know it's 2 casts of fishing slow, and then I pick up and I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's really my favorite way to fish, and you know it's really interesting how everyone has their own style. Like my roommate is Bo Browning, and we travel together for the opens, and he's the complete opposite of me. He's looking to find one area in practice, and he's gonna pick everything apart in that little area the whole tournament. and he's just going to hunker down, and he'll put his poles down, he'll just pick everything apart for a half hour. And I just can't do that. Like my brain's moving too fast, and I got to see the whole lake, and I always feel like I'm missing out on something if I slow down that much.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel like it could be going off on this other spot. What about there? Like, we need to go check that. Yeah.
I always feel like there's something better to be found, and that's kind of what drives me to work so hard. So
no, I think
that's my style for sure.
I like that approach for sure. We have so like back here at home, like we have spots, if you will, that everybody knows about, and there's a lot of people that will wait them out. And Wyatt and I have never been able to do that. Do it. We see these guys that like pull up on some point that eventually a wolf pack of big ones is going to swim across it.
Yeah.
And these guys will sit there all day long.
Yeah, not happening for us.
That's crazy.
We're a lot more like you in that way, like run and gun.
Yeah, no, we're like out there and here, go to the next one.
I think a good thing too about what you're talking about, like in a keep in mind it's a multiple day event for one.
Yeah.
And marking stuff and having stuff to keep yourself busy. Like I always, we've got a tournament coming up on Toledo, and I've marked stuff that I ain't stopped on, but I'm like, hey, it looks good. If we're in the area in the tournament, maybe we run over there. Just like I want to be busy. I want to feel like I'm staying busy all day long on higher percentage stuff, And I think that is a recipe for success, honestly.
I think
no doubt.
Yeah.
Just like you said, if you fish enough high percentage areas in a day, you will catch 5 fish. And they're not always going to be good ones, but you know what I mean? Like you will catch some fish if you fish enough high percentage areas in a day. So that's just the motto I roll with. So
do you shy away from the crowds in the opens, or are you willing to mix it in with there if you really want to be in a certain area?
No, I'm not scared of crowd. At Okeechobee, I was around that giant crowd, and I was able to get a 7th place finish. So, and there was probably 80 boats in the size of my house. Like it was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And you took a bomb cast, you can cast across 10 different boats. So
that's nuts.
It was different for sure.
Yeah. How has that experience been? The opens. How is that, man? We talk about that with some people on the show, and it's really the Lion's Den. It's a crazy deal out there from the stories I've heard from Shane, and there's some savages out there. Probably some guys that shouldn't even be there, and then guys that are definitely deserve to be there. It's its own world. The Bassmaster Opens is its own world. It's the best way to describe it. There's not any other tournament like it. Not the Elites, not the BPT, not team tournament. Like it is its own deal. How has that been for you? Obviously, you're doing well, but how is it? Kind of a culture shock, or is it something that you kind of expected going in?
For me, it really hasn't felt that much different than college fishing, honestly. Just like myself, at least half that college field is diehard, passionate fishermen, so they can catch fish. And in college tournaments, you think you find something sneaky, and most of the time, someone else will find it and be on it. So that's something I'm used to dealing with before I even jumped into the opens. I'm used to people finding my stuff and just dealing with adversity, and that's just something that college fishing has really prepared me for. And overall, it really hasn't felt that much different in the opens. The biggest thing was just the intimidation factor. Like, you roll up on Okeechobee and you got Randall Tharp flipping your grass. That's just, it could throw you off a little bit, but it's just something you got to block out and just trust your gut and trust yourself that you have the ability to, contend with those type of guys. I think is the biggest thing that I've had to overcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a mindset.
Like Randall, get out of here.
Yeah, me and Shane here. Check this out. Me and Shane got a say in here.
I don't think we should be telling
No, this is the saying. We're gonna make T-shirts out of this. Tell me what you think. It goes like this: our spots are our spots, and your spots are our spots. What do you think about that?
That's crazy. You got to make those shirts.
Tell me that shirt wouldn't sell though.
That would sell. That
if I saw Tharp on my stretch of grass, I'd be like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, you might want to get out of here, dude.
You better get out of here. You better get out of here before Easton sees you on this.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'd be in serious trouble.
Dude, tell me that would be a sick shirt. Like you'd have to make it like my spots are my spots and your spot is my spot. That's how you'd make the shirt.
That's how it works.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's how it is.
You got to make that shirt. That would sell.
Dude, I think it would sell like crazy.
All right, we'll get them.
They'd sell.
Shirts.
They'd sell for sure.
I like it.
That's our motto around here, Easton. You see, we fished the shore. We are here on the shores of Lake Sam Rayburn, where it is it is competitive, and it gets dirty out here, and you know that's how we roll, man.
There we go.
There's the camera gone again. But anyways, yeah, it's a little joke we like to say, man. It's hilarious. I think it's awesome. I've been thinking about that shirt for a while. I think it would sell.
I do too.
It has to sell.
That's awesome.
Well,
We're blacked out, guys.
blacked out screen. Camera has. That's what happens when you don't use it.
Hey, well, this is low budget.
Something's going on. I think I need a new cam link because I think it's that thing.
Somebody want to sponsor the juice
Yeah,
and give us a cam link?
We'll throw up our what do you call it when you ask for donations?
Not
like your PayPal, your Venmo, but like your you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. When people get like actually sick and stuff like
Well,
that.
not or whatever. You need raising money for something.
Yeah.
We need a new cam link. I think they're about $100.
Cheap sponsorship.
Yeah, come on, Dynamic.
Yeah,
Come on.
Easton, what the heck, dude?
$100.
We could put Easton Fothergill's face right here. He just won to open. We could
Yeah.
put him right here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna put a big picture of him holding up his trophy
Heck yeah.
right here. But well, man. So what are some career goals and aspirations? I mean, what are you looking into the future when you're all said and done, retired? What would you like to have accomplished? What are your goals?
I guess just to be on the Elite Series, honestly, is the dream. Everything beyond that is, extra in my eyes. Just to be on the Elite Series and to say I was able to do that would be a dream come true.
I would say at 22 years old, you've already accomplished. Some guys dream of just being at the Classic once.
That was definitely one of the dreams, and the bracket made every dream come true except the Elite Series. So that's the one we're still working towards for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Classic again, I mean, Ray Roberts. What are your thoughts? I know you're probably not worried about it yet, but
no. Ever since Eufaula, I've been looking at maps and stuff a little bit, and I've fished very little in Texas, but overall it seems it suit my style for sure. A lot of big baits, a lot of scoping, that sort of deal, which I really like to do all that. So
yeah,
I'm super excited, and overall I really don't know hardly much of anything about the lake, but I'm definitely gonna come over and pre-practice a little bit before it goes off limits on January 1st, and hopefully learn a little bit more. And yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Yeah. No, that's
I've never. Have you fished Ray Rob?
Nope.
I haven't either.
We live 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
from it?
we don't. There's been tournaments that we just haven't swung that way. I mean, we've fished a lot of fishers in the state of Texas, but that's not one.
Yeah,
of
we
them.
fished pretty much all of them except for that one.
Yeah, no doubt, for real. And they've had a Classic there before already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Hank Cherry.
What was that? 3 years ago?
Yeah, that was like totally different time of year.
Yeah,
It
and the
was all
lake was
weird.
high. It was very weird.
Weird
Hank
Classic.
Cherry won that one. Remember, that was his back-to-back win there, I believe. Yep.
Well, I mean, it is the greatest state in the nation, so
That's a fact. So you haven't fished Rayburn or Toledo Bend, or what's that all about?
No, I haven't been to either of those.
Wow.
I've actually only fished. The only time I fished in Texas was when I won the high school All-American. I went out on, it was like Lake Whitney or something.
Oh God.
I went out with Harvey Horn,
and
and kind of messed around out there for half a day or so. But
that is not a good representation of Texas bass fishing.
no, we didn't catch too much. And all my buddies in Texas, they all tell me crazy stories, and it's definitely a state I want to spend a little bit more time in for sure.
Yeah.
Well, come on down, brother.
Yeah. Don't come around. I mean, you can come look at Rayburn, but like, don't.
Just know anything you find is ours.
Yeah, it's ours. Exactly.
My spots are your guys' spots.
You got it. You understand?
Yeah, he gets it.
He gets it.
Oh, my man, Easton.
No, it's a great state, dude. You need to come down here. It's got freaking absolute giants. We're very, very spoiled. That
Yeah.
we're like every tournament we're always looking for how are we going to catch 30 this time.
Yeah. No, for real. I mean, as funny as it may seem, like you have to have it to win. So it is what it is. You better crack 30 or you go home. I mean,
That's messed up.
yeah, it is. It's messed up, but
It's fun, but
man, we appreciate your time. Hopefully, we have you back on as Angler of the Year, and we can talk about everything then. and we can talk about the upcoming
Wrap up the
elites.
seasons.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have you back on.
Let's do that. Let's plan on that. We'll
Yeah.
probably have you back on. I mean, if you're willing. I mean, your first experience in the juice might have been a poor one. You might be like, no, I'm never getting back on the phone with
Yeah,
these guys.
and
No,
you don't got to
been
reply to
awesome.
my Instagram DM either, but like, it's all good, bro.
I think Wyatt wants you to reply to his Instagram DM.
Sorry again, man.
That's why I reached out to Ronnie. I was like, I'm sure he's getting blown up by everybody. Let me like reach out to. So shout out to Ronnie. Thank you,
Ronnie,
for
he knows
hooking us up.
everybody.
Thank you.
We actually just had Ronnie on before you, Easton. So yeah.
So
That's awesome.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time.
good luck the rest of the season,
Good
man.
luck,
We'll be watching.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having me.
All right, man. Take care.
See you.
Yeah, man. Easton,
Future Hall of Famer.
He seems like a guy. Like if I was around him a lot, I would mess with him all the time.
Yeah.
Does he kind of seem like that guy to you?
Yeah, but
But
he
not
was
like being in a mean
Yeah.
way, but like
He'd be fun to be around. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was laughing.
he's fun.
When we were off air for a minute, we were
jacking with him,
jacking with him. He's cool and he can freaking catch him.
dude. Yeah, he's
And our camera is not working, so I think we need to get a new cam link. I guess that's what it is because it's been going out during our lives. You know how like,
So-
my camera goes out.
Bassmaster led up the top 10 lakes in the country this year. Today, would you like to talk about that for a second?
I'm sure it's bogus, but yeah.
Well, Rayford's not on it.
Well,
I commented on there and said thank you.
It shouldn't be.
That's what I said.
It's really not that good of a fishery. It's got giants, but it's not easy. Sure, the tourism is happy.
Here we are, the top
St.
10,
Lawrence.
number 1,
Ontario.
not on there. Let me just name them for you, because you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna like a couple of these. I think it's bogus.
All right, let's
Number
hear it.
1, St. Lawrence River, Thousand
I
Islands.
said same thing.
Number 2, OH Ivy,
Terrible call.
terrible call.
Okay.
Orange Lake in Florida, number 3.
Don't know what that is.
Nope.
Okay.
Number 4, Lake St. Clair in Michigan.
Okay.
Number 5, Lake Fork. I mean, be honest, Lake Fork is dope. I mean,
Yeah. All right.
number 6, Lake Murray in South Carolina.
Yep.
Number
on
7,
there.
Lake Erie, Upper River, New York.
Okay.
Number 8, Clear Lake, California. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so my argument to that one is that they normally look at tournament results to kind of gauge how it is, and they don't really have anything out there. They have that Western Bass Trail and stuff, but like, well, didn't they have a Toyota out there this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
With like 80 boats or something. Number 9, Bussy Break
in Louisiana.
And number 10, Mille Lacs.
Mille Lacs.
Yeah. So
They
Texas
just
was
threw that one.
represented. Texas was represented, but it's with OH Ivy and Lake Fork. Fork, I'm with it.
Yeah. Fork, I agree. OHIV, absolutely not.
Well, let's be honest here though.
It's not a good lake.
It
It's
has
a-
kicked out absolute megas though for sure.
Yeah, but you could go there and not catch nothing. Like
I know,
it's
that's for sure.
it's not an easy lake. It's
I
not
don't
a
know
good
how they base
fishing lake.
this.
It's not a good tournament lake. It's
They don't really have tournaments there, honestly.
It's a trophy lake. But all right, whatever. I mean, they didn't ask my opinion, so
Man,
they didn't ask ours. But
I mean, think about it. Pickwick's not on there. Gunnersville's not on there.
yeah, there's some really, really good lakes.
No Tennessee Rivers on there.
Murray, I agree with. Fork, I agree with.
There's literally not a Tennessee River lake
I
on
said
there.
St. Lawrence would be number one because it's just silly.
Would you?
it's
I think they're
silly.
considering that Ontario as well.
Yeah, that's why I said St. Lawrence, Ontario. But like Champlain, how is Champlain not on there?
Oh,
I would have put Champlain over Mille Lacs.
man, I will say it's hard not to put OHIV on the list with the amount of freaks that's came out of it.
Yeah, but dude, that's not like they catch what 50 a year. Big giant ones. You know, like teeners. How many teeners come out there a year? Probably not even that this year.
A lot. Well, I mean, there's a lot of 10 pluses, dude. It's probably the most out of any.
It is.
Out of any lake in the nation.
There are two lakes over there
Well,
that you have the highest.
JB Thomas might have.
If you want to catch a 10-pounder,
Yeah,
like if
JB.
that's your goal, JB Thomas and
Yeah.
Ivy are where you need to go.
JB, I think more so.
For sure. But
Yeah.
Toledo not being on there is a little.
Dude, screw Toledo Bend.
No. We're going to be in love
No.
with. You're going to say how much you love Toledo Bend after next week.
I don't listen. I ain't saying that we're not gonna bust them. I'm just
It's not
saying
easy
it ain't
right
like
now. But it's
they're
also
on
summer.
every freaking point. Like, dude, the Toledo Band that I used to hear about, like when they got offshore out there.
It's been a weird year, man. We've had a ton of rain.
It ain't been good in a while.
I
Think about this. We caught them last year at the same time of the year in the belt, and it was still not good. And we caught them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly like, oh, dude, this is retarded, you know?
Yeah.
Like Easton used to tell me, like when he was growing up over there, bro, like every point, like Easton Higley, not Fothergill.
Yeah.
He said that, like, dude, no bull crap. You go to every point and just throw a fire crankbait at it and catch them. But
I think some people still do that. We have higher standards for what we're looking for to fish offshore. We like to find giants.
yeah, I might have. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm ready for it. I think it's coming together little by little.
We're having to work for it, but we've got some really nice things.
Work.
I have no idea if those fish are even still around. The stuff I'll be out there tomorrow.
I'll go out there.
Going with Jerry's boat because I think I have another buyer. Dude, I don't know how I lucked in this. I think I have another buyer.
One of my sponsors talking about buying my boat.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I said I would tell the story.
Oh, Lord.
I'll tell the abbreviated.
This is at the very end, so
The end of the.
probably nobody's going to listen anyway.
So every year, sell my boat. It's part of the game, and this is the time of year I like to sell it. Post it on there. A lot of times I have it sold before I ever post it, so I don't even have to post it. But this year, high interest rates, yada, yada. I mean, things are, you got to be a little more aggressive with sales tactics. Anyway, I get a guy, and he's a nice guy. We're messaging. We're interested. We talked on the phone. I've sent him pictures. We agree on a price. We agreed on all the terms. And some of the terms were a little strange, but I was willing to do it. One of the terms was he didn't want me to put any more hours on it, so he asked me to stop using the boat. And we had the time arranged to come get it was going to be 3 weeks. So I didn't use my boat for 3 weeks, which you knew that. I was using Jerry's and just, mooching off whatever I could. Wanted it serviced, didn't need to be serviced, so I serviced it. No big deal. It's fine. Had a little minor fiberglass deal that was on me. I would have fixed that for anybody. And then remove one of my 2 live scope transducers, which I suggested didn't. And then the other one, we had some conversations about prop. And I suggested this prop, but he wanted to run the bigger prop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prop that a 25 pitch. I'm running a 24 pitch. I really like the way the boat performs with 24. Now, granted, I run loaded. I run a lot of heavy batteries, all AGMs in the back. So I run a little heavier weight than most people. So I could see why he may want to go to another one. So long story short, he drives all the way, long ways. 5 hours or something for him. And we had everything all agreed upon. Like he was coming to pick up the boat, but I told him, I said, "You come down. If you come to me, I'll take you out. We'll go fish. I'll show you, show you Rayburn, show you around, whatever." So we're having a good time. We're out there for like 3 hours, and he goes, "Man, I gotta be honest, I don't want the boat." I was like, "What?" I mean, this thing's clean. Like there's no scratches, no dents, no dings.
Yeah.
He did feel like it was a little dirtier than his liking, and I'm not the best detailer, but there's no imperfections on the boat.
Yeah.
He also didn't like the hole shot when I told him that the other prop was the better prop for the boat.
Yeah.
So that was a little frustrating to me. And not using my boat. I was just a little frustrated with the fact of how much time and money I'd spent facilitating his requests to sell the boat. And then for him to drive. And then, to his credit, he drove all the way over here.
Yeah.
And, I don't have any ill will towards the dude. I get it. Like, you want to spending some money on a boat. You want to feel the warm and fuzzy. I guess he didn't feel the warm and fuzzy. But very, very frustrating.
So you'd have been better off not taking him out on the lake, like him come pick it up and roll.
I mean, I'm not trying to sell a boat that somebody doesn't want. I mean, that's not. But I just was a little frustrated at the waste of time and the fact that he didn't listen to me about the prop. And then
no, it's definitely frustrating. I can see both sides of it. If it's not perfect, but it sounds like he was setting up everything to be perfect when he got here. So
yeah, maybe I just
It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
This stuff
selling
happens.
a boat is so tough.
It is.
Honestly, and I love, and I appreciate the relationship with Skeeter. But there's a downside to getting a new boat every year. I mean, and it's just the stress of selling them, and there's a lot of dominoes. Like I had to reach out to Garmin to get set up, and had to reach out to Skeeter about getting a new order form, and you start stacking all these in place, to make sure. So when I sell this one, the other one's going to be ready in time for me to fish whatever.
Have you ordered yet?
No.
Yeah, really, you don't want to, right?
But I got another guy from South Carolina that seems very, very interested, so we will see. But either way,
good deal.
Lesson learned, take a deposit.
I was thinking about the next episode before we started this one, and I got a couple guys in mind that may not be the biggest names in the sport, but they're younger guys like Easton, but they're specifically good on like a Tennessee River lake, or like maybe get them on to talk about that kind of stuff, like dive into more like technique stuff.
Yeah. No, I want to do that.
Yeah. So
I think we should do some of those our own.
Yeah, we should. But nobody cares about us, dude. So
I mean, you just got to start throwing. We got to throw content out there.
You're right.
We're going to do this.
Well, we're going to have some content in that boat.
Yeah.
We're looking for belts and boats, boys.
We're going to try to win it all. So it's $100,000 for first.
Hey, and those shirts are coming. I'm being like, tell me those wouldn't sell, bro.
So say it again. Our spots are our spots.
Yeah.
Your spots are our spots.
But we also need to make sure it says my spots are my spots and your spots are my spots. And we're going to put the Juice Podcast on it.
Okay.
And, like, we got to put some kind of funny, like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll make a couple different designs.
Yeah, if there's any graphic designers out there listening,
this shirt's going to kill it. Easton liked it.
Easton's gonna buy one. We'll give him one.
He's richer than us right now.
I mean, we'll sell it to you at cost. How about that? Well, since we got a black screen, I suppose we can just...
All right, guys. Till next time.
All right.